It has to do with the ability of a newly named MUD, the Harris
Is objecting to consideration of House Bill 4749? Chair is none. Chair lays out House Bill 4749. Clerk, read the bill.
HB 4749 by Eissler, relating to the authority of the Harris-Montgomery County's Municipal Utility District Number 386, formerly known as the Harris County Municipal Utility District Number 386, to issue bonds supported by ad valorem taxes to finance recreational facilities.
Members, the Senate companion for House Bill 4749 is over and eligible. According to the Chair, lays out Senate Bill 2483. The clerk will read the bill.
SB 2483 by Williams, relating to the authority of the Harris-Montgomery County's Municipal Utility District Number 386, formerly known as the Harris County Municipal Utility District Number 386, to issue bonds supported by ad valorem taxes to finance recreational facilities.
Chair recognizes Mr. Eissler.
I will yield.
Mr. Pickett, he yields.
Well, if he'll yield, I'd rather him lay it out. Maybe I wouldn't have as many questions.
Okay. Harris-Montgomery County Municipal Utility District 386 is the newer part of the Woodlands and has about 2,425 acres, about 400 in Montgomery County. The main thrust of this is it deletes Section 49.4645 of the code, which enabled MUDs to sell bonds for recreational facilities. Now, Montgomery County was left out of that initially, and then House Bill, I think it's 1127 of last session, put Montgomery County back in, but added a Section F to that code, which prevented bonds to pay for recreational facilities for places, and it bracketed the Woodlands because Woodlands has a lot of them.
Then I do have a question. So it added the F code to the section of the bill?
Yes. That's what 1127 did.
Is the F code more than one word, or is it?
Yes. And I will read it to you since I did look it up in anticipation of this, this bill.
And it's the water code.
Yes, the water code, and that's section does not apply to a district, all or part of which is located in Montgomery County, and 2, includes land within a planned community of at least 15,000 acres.
Oh, now that's interesting. You know why? This is the water code, and isn't it funny, Mr. Eissler, that they call them MUDs?
Well, I think that's a good mix.
And since a planned unit development is a PUD, your bill has a PUD in a MUD.
It does, and I often try to prevent that from occurring, especially when I was in the Navy.
Now, if you were to borrow money from the secondary money market, you could get a HUD loan on the PUD
now,
in the MUD.
Interestingly enough, the Woodlands was started with a HUD loan.
So there is HUDs, in PUDs, in MUDs.
In MUDs, that's right.
Now,
and given a little nudge, this bill could pass.
Pass muster?
At least that.
But I don't think we want to get muster in on this. You've got...
but that's if we speed up the schedule, then we can catch up.
I don't know that that will be the answer to your
I don't think it will.
PUD. You've got that it was the Harris-Montgomery County Municipal District number 386,
yes,
formerly known as Harris County, but then you said that they brought in Montgomery County, then they took it back out as they're putting it in under F? So it was in, it was out?
It was in, then it was out, and that's where the PUD got in the mud.
Now, why do you suppose we try to...
Don't read the journal on that one.
Why do you suppose we try to confuse the public and put Latin terms like valorem? I mean, I'm not even sure. Valorem means what in Latin?
Valorem adds value to the equation.
Adds value? I thought it was according to value.
Well, that's what it means, but I was using the term to explain the meaning.
You're using the term to explain the meaning.
Which is like putting the punchline in the setup of the joke.
Oh, I gotcha. So valorem is according to value, but of value is why you have valorem financing here. Now, what kind of recreational facilities is this financing going to provide?
Mostly parks. In fact, the code specifically excludes indoor or outdoor swimming pools or golf courses.
Why would it exclude swimming pools? People don't like to swim in Harris-Montgomery County Municipal Utility District number 386. It's about water, but they don't want a pool?
Well, they'll pool their resources, but they won't pay for a pool, because the whole idea of Section F was to exclude the Woodlands, because the Woodlands had already...
Oh, everybody's got a pool.
Well, almost. Not quite, but a community pool. I think there are half a dozen
Well, if you had a
communities.
community pool, some of your neighbors might come and use it.
Yes, they would.
So we'd rather just have pools in our own houses, I'm imagining then.
Exactly.
Okay, besides, okay, it won't allow indoor, outdoor pools. You can't do golf courses. Now, why not a golf course? Not even a little putt-putt muni course?
No, in this case, it would be a pud-pud course.
A pud in the mud?
Right, exactly.
Okay, we don't allow golf courses, we don't allow swimming pools. What can be done in these recreational facilities?
Oh, you mean what is permissible?
Yes.
Mostly what is already occurring, you know, a park, you know, with,
Well, but a park is a park. What are you allowed to do in the park? Because if you won't let you have a pool, you probably have exclusions from what you can do in the park.
oh, you have nature trails, you have picnic areas, barbecue.
Now, do you suppose you'd have a nature trail going by any of the picnic areas, or would you try to keep them separate so that you didn't interrupt anybody eating while you were going through a nature trail?
Only if you're dressed appropriately.
At the picnic table or on the trail?
Either way, it's a two-way view.
Because I don't have any of these, and if this is really good, I think I might look at trying to create one of these municipal utility districts. Now, do you know what the numbering sequence is? How were you able to get 386? Why isn't it like 247 or 943 or?
Well, my guess is it was already, in fact, not my guess, it already was that number in Harris County, 386.
Well, then shouldn't it be, if it was already 386 and you're changing it, shouldn't it be like 386A or 386 and a half?
No,
or?
they just put a hyphen with Harris Montgomery.
Well, that seems kind of a short change, the 386. You suppose 387 is taken, and that's why it didn't move up one number to 387?
Probably. It's kind of like bus routes.
Now, you did cover section 49.4645F.
Yes.
And again, you said that doesn't apply, and I don't think
Yeah,
you're really clear.
F excludes the woodlands in Montgomery County.
F excludes the
And
woodlands.
because they added 400 acres to this landmass and put the hyphen of Montgomery County, and it's the newer section of the woodlands, it's before the woodlands could develop parks and recreational facilities. And the whole idea they bracketed the woodlands out was that the woodlands had already created all these amenities, and in fact, we try to keep the citrus bugs away from the swimming pools.
I'm not sure amenities are a good thing right now with the swine flu. Don't you have to take a shot for amenities, or?
Well, you usually do that on a Friday night.
Okay. In section 2 of the bill, you start off with Harris Montgomery County Municipal Utility District number 386, formerly known. How come you repeat that? You already said it in the first section.
Well, this is legal stuff. You see, most people who read bills, they don't have a real long attention span, so you have to say it again in the next paragraph.
Because it says on line 14 that you retain all the rights and powers and privileges, authority, duties, functions. I didn't read anywhere where they went away, so why would you retain something that didn't leave?
Yeah, I can.
Is Mr. Hildebrand helping you? Or just distracting you?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
That's probably because he's got a lot of PUDs and HUDs and MUDs. Or DUDs.
And we don't want him to pull the fast one.
Or a dud. Okay, so you get to retain all the rights.
Now, if we had pasture out there, we could worry about cuds.
We'd have cuds in the PUDs who borrowed from a HUD in the
to
district
create
of
the
a MUD.
Right, and if you open a beer joint, you'll have suds.
And if they were flat, they would be duds. And if you had a cow and you could mix it, it would be milk duds.
Duds with the cuds.
On section 3, it says that you have to put a legal notice of the intention to introduce this act. Now, introduce what act? The act that you and I are putting on, or the act that's in the...
I think this act needs no introduction.
And now it's going to be setting forth. There's only two of us. How can we set forth in your bill? It says setting forth when there's only you and I here.
Well, we just need two more.
And it says setting forth the general. As far as I know, the highest ranking member here is a colonel. So who would be the setting forth the general?
Well, at this rate, he's going to get promoted by the time we get finished.
So he could be a general by the time it's over.
Yes.
Now it says you must publish this as provided by law, the notice and a copy have been furnished to all persons. All persons? I didn't get a notice.
Well, you didn't show up in time.
Well, no, it says delivered. I've been here. I didn't get a notice.
You're probably celebrating your birthday.
Mr. Pickett,
Does that happen to be the same as yours?
Yes, it does.
And who has won the bet the last 3 years on congratulating the person first?
Because I didn't have your cell phone. I do now.
Mr. Pickett,
Yes, sir.
you've asked about 9.5 minutes of questions. I want to make sure you're not trying to kill the bill. Or if you've had your
I
questions
appreciate
answered.
this, and I thank him for bringing something that I'd like to recreate in my district.